Good morning. For those I haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Jim Bove, Chief of Public Affairs here at the Madison VA. On behalf of everyone here at the William S. Middleton Memorial Veterans Hospital and Clinics, welcome and thank you so much for taking time today as we honor the newest member of our Hall of Heroes. I especially want to welcome our inductee and honored guest, Captain Tony Paulson and his family. We are also proud to welcome one of our previous inductees joining us today. I just learned he just celebrated a birthday last week. U.S. Army Second Lieutenant James Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able, please rise for the entrance of the Wisconsin National Guard, the presentation of colors, the national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance, and then the invocation. If you're able, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you're able, please remain standing for an invocation by our chaplain, John Van Dop.
Please join me for a moment of invocation, prayerfully, if your tradition allows, respectfully for all present. Gracious One, we come to this place to give thanks and give recognition for the gift of Captain Tony Paulson. We note the example he has set for us, and we are humbled by the courage he demonstrated on behalf of those he was leading. May it be that we learn from him, and that those who walk the halls of this facility in the years to come will read his story and remember that leadership and selflessness go hand in hand. And so may our thoughts and words today reverberate through time, helping us and others to walk in Captain Paulson's footsteps for a better world. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Van Dop. Please be seated. And now we'd like to share a brief video introducing you to our Hall of Heroes program.
This is one thing that we can do as a veterans hospital that St. Mary's or UW Hospital just they don't have something like this. This is special. This is for our veterans, for our staff, for their family members. And it's a way of paying tribute that they're so well deserved.
I joined the VFW in Middleton, post 8216, and for me that was a changing point in my life. It was brought together a bunch of similar people that have experienced war and probably changed their lives forever. Someone there said, well, you have a Silver Star, we need to do something to recognize that, and the rest is history. I hang on the wall, and the thing, I guess if nobody would have ever done that, identify me, it'd still be hidden.
This is their chance. It's going to mean so much to have their family, friends, and actually be in a safe environment versus their initial wards. It could have been right after action. Some general could have pinned on the medal, and it's forgotten. But to have a ceremony like this, I think it means a lot to them. It meant so much to family, VA staff, everybody that knew the veterans just got to hear their stories.
And it's in a great place where everybody sees it that goes through there, and you know the workforce at the VA know you. They've read your story. They've seen you, and they know who you are and what you have done. There aren't many things in life like that.
As the video stated, in 2002, Dr. John Hofer, then the chief of dentistry here, began the Hall of Heroes program at the William S. Middleton Memorial Veterans Hospital. His idea was to honor veterans in the Madison area whose military service was especially heroic. Since the initial ceremony, the program has inducted 16 veterans representing 4 different branches of service with various awards, including the Distinguished Service Cross, the Navy Cross, the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart. Captain Tony Paulson will join the following distinguished veterans in our Hall of Heroes: Sergeant Robert Botts, Captain Donald Heiliger, Sergeant David Brenzel, Corporal James Stevenson, Private First Class James Anagonistopoulos, Second Lieutenant James Duncan, Sergeant Harry Dickerson, Second Lieutenant James Morgan, Sergeant Joshua Brennan, Private First Class Ralph Warner, Sergeant First Class Thomas Renault, Staff Sergeant Daniel Bush, Captain Thomas Alwyn, Sergeant Thomas Feeney, First Lieutenant Norman Morozic, and our most recent inductee, Sergeant Akira Toki. And today, we are so honored to recognize Captain Tony Paulson's heroism and to celebrate his induction into the Hall of Heroes. It is now my pleasure to welcome for the first time at one of our events, as she has only been here for 3 weeks, but we are so excited to have her here, our acting hospital director, Ms. Alicia Miller.
All right, good morning. This has been a pleasure. Now, Tony, I might need to borrow one of your tissues, okay? All right. You got my back, I got yours. Well, I just wanted to say thank you to the family and friends for joining us as we honor Captain Tony Paulson today. He is truly one of our America's heroes. The Hall of Heroes here at the Madison VA is our way to honor and recognize our local veterans and service members who have served their country in wartime and have been awarded with military decorations for valor, heroism, specific combat actions. It serves as a reminder of what our courageous veterans have endured, the honors and sacrifices they have made. The Hall of Heroes reinforces the VA's sacred mission to fulfill President Lincoln's promise to care for those who have served in our nation's military, for their families, caregivers, and survivors. Our Hall of Hero inductees are an inspiration, truly an inspiration, to all of us here at the Madison VA and for those who visit us. Today, as we honor Tony's heroism, as we induct him into our Hall of Heroes, it is also a special day for his family, who are also a part of his service. We are happy and proud that you are here to join our ceremony. Now it's my pleasure to bring to the stage, so that we can hear his story, Captain Tony Polson.
Good morning. Thank you, thank you. What an honor. Special thanks goes out to Stephanie and Phil and the committee, Robert Hall, who took my story and also nominated me. Stealing a line from Lou Gehrig, I'm the luckiest man alive. I had 8 bullet holes through my uniform. A grenade landed between my legs and did not explode. A mortar round landed close to me and threw me into a foxhole. That same day, 23 men walked down a hill. 5 of us walked off. I called in a bombing run 50 yards from my location. The colonel was not happy and I got chewed out. You're not supposed to call in jets that close. I was never wounded. As an infantry officer, platoon leader, and company commander, my goal was to take care of my men. Combat is the biggest adrenaline rush I've ever experienced. I'm humbled and honored to be called a hero, but I led a platoon and company of heroes. Only recently, one of my fellow veterans said he'd follow me again everywhere. He was wounded 4 times, but he always made it back to the field. My fellow officer and friend, Artillery Officer Frank Fortuna, is laid to rest in Arlington. He saved a lot of lives, including mine. Special thanks to my Sue, my wife of 52 years, my son Chad, my daughter Emily, and their families for their support. In addition, my sister-in-law Kathy, who gave me a flattened penny with the Lord's Prayer that I kept on my dog tags. That same penny went to Afghanistan. I gave it to my son-in-law and asked him to return it. He did. I need to thank our good friends of over 50 years, Bill and Mary. We met shoveling snow in an April '73 snowstorm here in Madison. What a wonderful relationship for Sue and I. Thanks to our 6 grandsons who are all in sports and keep us going. Being a grandfather does not make me feel old, but married to a grandmother does. The Madison VA Hospital has been wonderful. The hospital staff are so kind and courteous. Special thanks to and appreciation to my hero, Dr. Chris Fletcher, who's helping me fight my battle with Agent Orange. Thanks again for everybody involved in this event. Thanks to family, friends, and attendants. This is such an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Paulson. We will now hear a little bit more about Captain Paulson from his daughter, Emily. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Emily Witkowitz to share more of Tony's story.
Hello, I'm Emily Witkowitz, Tony Paulson's daughter. I will just add a few words to my dad's words before I read his Bronze Star citation. Growing up, my dad didn't talk a lot about being a veteran or having served in Vietnam. Coming home wasn't as celebrated as and didn't look upon very well. It wasn't until more recently that he started to share more of his stories about his time in war. I had the honor to go to one of his Vietnam reunions in D.C. with my 2 oldest sons. I had the honor to watch my dad lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier, hear many stories, and meet many veterans. It was a great experience for my kids and myself. I think it would be powerful for everyone to sit down with a veteran, hear their stories, their sacrifices, and what being a veteran really means to them. My dad proudly wears his vet hat around, not to be recognized, but because he's proud. He would tell anyone he meets, "I don't need much, it's just nice to be thanked," spoken like a true veteran. He also believes and tells me quite often it always could be worse, and has a very positive outlook on life. Pretty good for a guy who's been battling cancer for 20 years. He loves going to his grandson's events and has been lucky that my sons and my nephew's school have taken time to honor veterans with school events, invite them to come in and share their stories. I would also like to honor my mom today. Being married to a veteran can be challenging, and then one gets sick, it's even harder. Caring for my dad with cancer for the past 20 years has definitely taken a toll on her, but I like to always tell her, "You are stronger than you think, Mom." Lastly, I'd just like to thank everyone coming for my dad today. He is honored that you took the time, drove for him, and he is honored that you are here to support him. I will now read his Bronze Star citation. For the heroism in connection with the ground operations against the hostile force in the Republic of Vietnam, First Lieutenant Paulson distinguished himself by exceptionally valorous actions on June 10, 1970, while serving as a platoon leader in Company C, 1st Battalion, 46th Infantry. On that date, the company was conducting a search and clear mission of the Hep Duc district when it came under intense enemy fire from several well-concealed locations. Reacting immediately and with a complete regard of his own personal safety, Lieutenant Paulson rushed to the point of contact, directed his men into strategic firing position. Heedless of the danger involved, he braved the hostile fusillades and directed assault on the enemy bunker. Despite the fierce resistance, he effectively silenced the emplacement of several well-placed hand grenades. Refusing to seek cover, Lieutenant Paulson then moved from position to position, encouraging his men and providing first aid for the wounded comrades. Though his timely and courageous actions, he greatly contributed to the overall success of the mission, served as an inspiration to his entire unit. First Lieutenant Paulson's personal heroism, professional competence, and devotion to duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service and reflect greatly credit upon himself, the American Division, and the United States Army.
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Emily. Captain Paulson has requested that Emily and his wife Sue join Ms. Miller on stage for the formal induction and unveiling of the plaque. Please stand if you're able. While serving in the United States Army, Captain Paulson distinguished himself on the field of battle, earning the Bronze Star. Through action and deed, he brought great credit upon himself, his family, his service, and his country. It is our honor to formally induct Captain Tony Paulson into the William S. Middleton Memorial Veterans Hospital Hall of Heroes. You may remove the cloth. Captain Paulson's plaque will be placed in the Hall of Heroes next to our other valorous veterans. The Hall of Heroes is located just down the hallway here on the right, on the first floor, next to the Patient Education and Resource Center. If you haven't checked it out, shame on you, but feel free to do so before you leave today. Please be seated. We would like to thank Mr. Robert Hall for nominating Tony, giving us the opportunity to honor him today and hear his story. Robert is a former employee who interviewed Tony for his My Life, My Story. We would also like to thank Sue, Emily, and all the other family members and friends who were able to join us today. Emily, Tony's son Chad, and Tony will receive a certificate after the ceremony as a gift to commemorate this occasion. We know, as Ms. Miller said, that when one person serves, the entire family serves. So on behalf of all of us, thank you. Now we'd like to ask that you please rise one last time, if you are able, for the benediction with Chaplain Van Dalen.
Go now from this place and follow in the example of Captain Paulson. Show courage with compassion. Use the gifts you've been given to serve those around you. Offer words of hope in the circles you move through. Make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain. This concludes our ceremony. We'll give the media, who, by the way, thank you so much for coming, an opportunity to interview our newest inductee. Hollywood will be calling soon after. And then we'll ask family and friends to stick around for a few photos, but we do ask that you keep the noise level down during the media interviews. We'll see you all back here next time in November for our next induction. Again, thank you for joining us. Sir, congratulations. Please drive safely.